It is currently the morning of the 29th of October, 2025. I'm meteorologist Robert Spetto. Always do my best to keep you informed on what's happening out here in the Western Pacific. And I want to start off with this. Basically, that potential tropical area that could be developing through the start of November. And, yesterday there was a lot of people asking about this. And the models really were going strong with the GFS and the ECMWF. Today, they've backed off a little bit, especially the ECMWF. GFS still showing a storm by the third, heading into the fourth. But I do want to apologize at least a little bit, because I do think I probably jumped the gun here. And the whole reasoning behind it was due to the fact that I was just getting bombarded by questions about this area. So my video yesterday and subsequent post on social medias was to address it and explain that long range details versus saying a storm was coming. Because whenever I show this right here, there is a lot of meaning behind what the GFS shows, for example, or the ECMWF. And I even see that in the comments. A lot of people don't know the difference between the GFS and the ECMWF. So they'll ask, and I just want to point that out. But with that said, there still is an area out there that's not organized at this time. Models still show some sort of development, but nothing really shows a super typhoon at this point. And it is straight runner season. So if we do get something developed near Guam, more than likely it would run towards the west. Make sure you get those information from your proper sources, though. Bagasa is doing a good job at following along. But yeah, it's 2025. AI generates things, and Let's break this down. So here, I showed you this, okay? So this is the latest run from the GFS showing a storm off of the east coast of Visayas, northeast of Mindanao. But, you could take a look at the GFS and the ensembles. So that's the operational model, that windy product everybody always shares and shows. But this is the guidance with the ensemble. So within the GFS, it breaks down 31 different runs that are averaged together. And this is your 31 different runs. And it does show high confidence that something is going to be there in the Philippine Sea by the 4th into the 5th. So it's not really fake news, to be honest. I mean, you take the ECMWF, also showing something very similar in that same exact spot. So may have jumped the gun a little bit, but the reality is the models have backed off, but they are still consistent on some sort of development. With the Google AI model, the DeepMind also trying to show something out there somewhere in the Philippine Sea. It's really spread out, but given it's 7 days out and you have this general wide consensus with still the GFS and ECMWF and the DeepMind, I still wouldn't say something's not gonna happen. It's still long range, and that's the big thing. 7-8 days out, things are going to change. If anybody shares a model run 7 days from now and says, this is what's going to happen, better get ready, they're full of it. At least in these updates in my posts, I try to explain what's happening and why it's happening. So just take that away from it. We do have a broad low, by the way, even in the short term, by the way, over the Philippines. You can see it here. That's increasing rainfall for Thursday and the Friday. And then on top of that, instead of looking at the long range, we still have the northeast monsoon impacting Vietnam. And then you have this, of course, area here. You can see by Friday and the Saturday, ECMWF picking up on an area south of Guam. And of course, that has been the main topic. Something's going to develop out there. Probably not going to be a super typhoon, but it could be a big increase in rainmaker as we track this over the upcoming days. So not doubling down on it, just really want to stress the context behind some of these posts, and the context being long range outlook. Something's probably going to develop, but not 1,000% confident on that intensity, which we're never going to be until we actually have, a defined low level center, which is not there. We got a scattered area of convection out there near Chuuk, southeast of Guam, which is what the models are picking up on at this point. So that's what I really want you to take away from this update. So yeah, if you got any questions, let me know on this. I really do appreciate your feedback. And this is definitely something I'm going to watch over the upcoming days. Short, quick update to the point. Just wanted to address that because, man, I have been called fake news more than any time. I think it's because Bagasta put something out, and people who've never visited my page nor watched the videos probably saw some of the headlines, and they didn't really pay attention. And that's my fault, to be quite frank. It's my fault for bad communication. And one person even said, and I think they kind of got smart with me. They said, you know, you're being a hypocrite. I'm like, okay, I see it. I see it. And bad communication on my part. So in the future going forward, even these long range models, I'm going to try to emphasize more long range guidance. Things could change, but I also do want to debunk some of those long range models that people are sharing and not giving full context on. So it's a balancing act for me, right? It's either ignore it and not do what Patreon members and everybody that follows me asked me to do, is give that long range outlook, or jump the gun a little bit too early and then we get the forecast changes and then you get called fake news. It's a tough call. So that's why I try my best to give context. Always remember, long range things could change, but at the same time, I try not to involve myself in the hype. And maybe I was guilty of that yesterday. So I do apologize. But with that said, we still got an area here that we're going to watch. And it still could develop. It's still a long range outlook. So as always, though, let me know if you have any questions. I try my best to stay humble, at least. By saying that, I guess it's not so humble, but also learn and take your guys' feedback. So as always, thanks for watching. And of course, stay safe out there.